Why is there something rather than nothing? Or is it possible for everything to be impossible? These questions possess profound intricacy surpassing any conceivable responses. Its simplicity, elegance, and awe-inspiring nature arise from its intrinsic impossibility. In truth, each constituent word within this inquiry loses its meaning in the face of the totality of existence and the boundless void of absolute emptiness. It is conceivable that the arrangement of these words might be incapable of forming a conventional question. This is an open-ended contemplation that may transcend the need for a definitive answer. Actually, it appears to resemble the title of an ontological poem. Without further ado, let us embark on this poetic journey.
In the realm of cosmic pondering, we ask, why does existence bloom, an enigmatic task? Why do stars ignite, and galaxies take flight, while nothingness hides in eternal night? In the depths of philosophical musings sway, we seek answers, yearning to portray, why the tapestry of life weaves with delight, why something dances, instead of infinite night. From the boundless void, creation unfurls, mysteries wrapped in cosmic pearls. Why this symphony of atoms and dust, instead of silence, where nothingness thrusts? A riddle whispered by celestial spheres, why existence claims its place, and adheres. In the grand design, a puzzle profound, as to why something rather than nothing is found. Though our questions may reach an elusive end, the marvel of being, a gift to comprehend. In the poetry of existence, we find our part, in a universe where something beats within our heart.
Now let us delve into a more serious demeanor. German existential philosopher Martin Heidegger referred to this query as a primary question of metaphysics for profoundly challenging inquiry within philosophy. Its significance is paramount, as it stands as one of the most fundamental and intricate questions humanity has grappled with for centuries. Despite our extensive contemplation, providing a straightforward answer remains elusive. In fact, we are uncertain if the concept of nothingness is theoretically attainable. Nevertheless, comprehending the essence of nothing holds great importance, as non-existence is as crucial as existence itself. Both conceptually coexist inextricably, rendering their separation devoid of categorical meaning. Let's explore the essence of existence itself, focusing on the capacity to be rather than the existence of any specific thing or everything collectively. Existence at its core transcends individual entities or the totality of all things. It pertains to the fundamental quality of being, the very possibility of existence inherent in the fabric of reality. It is a profound concept that goes beyond the limitations of any particular form or content. When contemplating existence in this abstract sense, we are led to explore the essence of being itself, the underlying potentiality that allows anything to exist. It raises philosophical questions about the nature of reality, the origins of existence, and the principles that govern the fundamental capacity for things to be. In this inquiry, we step away from the particulars of the world and engage with the universal canvas of existence, seeking to grasp the mysterious force that grants existence its very existence. It opens the door to profound contemplations about the nature of being, the interconnectedness of all things, and the enigmatic dance between existence and non-existence. As we journey into the heart of existential capacity, we embark on a quest to understand the essence of reality, beyond the boundaries of individual forms or the totality of everything. It is a fascinating exploration that invites us to ponder the very fabric of existence itself. Existence is a profound and complex concept that has been contemplated by philosophers, scientists, and thinkers across disciplines. Existence, in general, refers to the state or fact of being or existing. It encompasses the entire realm of reality, everything that exists or has ever existed. Existence includes all physical and abstract entities, from tangible objects like planets, animals, and human beings, to intangible concepts like thoughts, emotions, and ideas. Defining existence proves a challenging endeavor within the confines of our available categories. From an ontological perspective, existence refers to the fundamental nature and reality of things. It examines questions such as what it means for something to exist, the properties and qualities that define existence, and the relationship between existence and essence. In our daily encounters, we engage with tangible entities, things, living beings, and processes. Their existence or non-existence hinges on the completeness of their forms aligning with their content. A thing can manifest in numerous forms, both natural and artificial, transitioning over time. Indeed, the true existence of an entity hinges on a harmonious content-form relationship, which can be likened to a computational nature. Just as engineer, when scrutinizing an aircraft blueprint, can determine its flight worthiness, there seems to be an underlying blueprint or design guiding the balance between content and form for some unique existence. This existential engineering implies that some creative force or organizing principle has orchestrated the intricate dance between essence and manifestation, ensuring that each entity's content aligns harmoniously with its form. Just as a successful aircraft blueprint reflects the laws of aerodynamics, the existence of entities seems to be governed by an underlying structure that upholds their particular attributes. While we may not fully grasp the intricacies of this existential engineering, we find echoes of its presence throughout the cosmos. It is as if a grand designer has woven a tapestry of existence, where each thread, meticulously connected, contributes to the awe-inspiring complexity of the universe. Yet, much like the engineer contemplating a blueprint, we too are left in wonder at the profound mysteries that underlie the nature of existence and the delicate balance between content and form, giving rise to the diversity and beauty that surrounds us. Now consider a table. Its existence is predicated on conforming to the concept of a table. Should I remove half of one leg, it would no longer embody the concept and cease to exist as a table. However, removing the similar part of another leg could yield a new entity, a coffee table, as it aligns with the possibilities allowed by its content. Pushing further to create a concept like a walking coffee table would prove futile, for its wooden content could never correspond to such a notion. In essence, existence embodies a delicate equilibrium between an original form and the content that evolves over time. Yet it remains an intricate interplay, distinct from existence in its absolute entirety, which can be described as universal possibility or potential totality. It is crucial to acknowledge that accurately and completely grasping the true nature of something remains an elusive endeavor. According to Kant, a thing, or the thing itself, is intricately interconnected with the entire cosmos, deeply rooted within the fabric of space-time. As a result, thing in itself exists in a universal manner, drawing its essence from the grand tapestry of existence as such. Existence as such can be understood as the potential for something to be universal, taking the form of an essence in its all-encompassing state of being. Analogously, this ontological universal possibility can be likened to stem cells, which represent a biological universal possibility with the body. Just as stem cells possess the remarkable ability to differentiate and develop into any specialized cell type, ontological universal possibility encompasses the potential for diverse and varied outcomes in the broader fabric of existence. However, the question arises, Where do these universal possibilities originate? The answer to this enigma ventures into the realms of metaphysics and cosmology, where diverse philosophical and scientific theories converge. Some propose that the origin of universal possibilities lies in the fundamental nature of the cosmos itself, shaped by underlying principles or laws that govern existence. Others may seek answers in theological or spiritual perspectives, attributing the source of universal possibilities to a higher transcendent force or creative power. Now imagine a defective children's building kit in which no part fits the other. Nothing can be built from this kit because it is potentially empty, like absolute chaos in which being is impossible yet, but which is no longer nothing. The difference between defective building kit and chaos is in size. Size is matter. Absolute chaos is infinite, and infinity will provide endless possibilities for many good building kits to emerge. Figuratively, the collective combination of these building kit, more precisely, their cumulative capabilities, will represent the idea of being. In metaphysics, these universal possibilities emanate from being itself. Being is often considered the ontological ground of existence, the ultimate source from which all reality arises. If being is the foundation of everything that exists, then the potentialities and possibilities that emerge with the universe can be seen as inherent expressions of the fundamental nature of being. It is as an all-inclusive and unifying principle, can be seen as containing within itself the potential for an infinite array of manifestations and possibilities. Something about nothing. The meaning of nothing in metaphysics can vary depending on the philosophical framework or context in which it is discussed. Absolute nothingness refers to a state in which there is a complete absence of existence, being, or any form of reality. It is the notion of non-being that is devoid of any qualities, properties, or entities. Some philosophical perspectives argue that this absolute nothingness is inconceivable or impossible to grasp, as even the concept of nothingness itself presupposes a concept and a mind to conceive it. Another interpretation of nothing in metaphysics is the idea of negative existence. This concept suggests that nothing can be understood as the absence or negation of existence, where it is defined by what it is not rather than what it is. Negative existence relates to the notion of non-being or the negation of being, which can be contrasted with positive existence or being. Nothing can also be associated with the concept of emptiness or void. It can refer to an absence of substance, form, or content. In certain philosophical traditions, such as branches of Buddhism, emptiness is considered a fundamental aspect of reality. Emptiness does not imply an absolute nothingness, but rather a lack of inherent or independent existence, suggesting that phenomena lack inherent self-nature. However, nothing is not simply the absence of everything, because there must be something to be absent in the first place. Thus, the existence of cannot be completely eliminated, even when we attempt to imagine its absence. It remains unremovable and indestructible, much like the eternal and unchangeable nature of matter. Moreover, the concept of everything is as abstract and indefinite as nothing. So the absence of one abstract inside another does not necessarily result in the possibility of nothing. Instead, nothing may only be possible when there is no possibility for everything. This raises another profound question. Can everything become impossible? Answering this question on a local scale is relatively straightforward. When we die, everything inside us becomes impossible. Similarly, This concept applies to the destruction of any system, including our universe, but it does not extend to everything beyond the universe. The question seems to defy conventional logic due to its self-contradicting nature, but we are not bound by traditional reasoning. Instead, we seek to explore the potential evolution or progression of time within the realm of all possible worlds. If the potential world operates without time, then everything will be always possible. Plato's perspective suggests that mathematical objects and concepts exist independently of human minds or physical reality, residing in a timeless realm of ideas. In this case, nothing might have no chance to prevail because mathematical truths are eternal and unchangeable. On the other hand, if the potential reality adheres to any form of logic, there might be a notion of potential time where possibilities arise and disappear. In this context, if there were a way to destroy mathematics, nothing would potentially become possible. In the realm of philosophical inquiry, the nature of nothing remains a fascinating enigma, and our understanding of its implications continues to evoke profound contemplation. The question of why something exists instead of nothing is a fundamental question in philosophy and physics. There is no single answer that everyone agrees on, but there are a number of different theories. Discussions about nothing can be very abstract and complex. Nothing can be proved or disproved here, but we can still outline something. The concept of nothing is a philosophical inquiry into the nature of emptiness and non-existence, or the absence of being and absence of existence. This question assumes that nothing is a possible state of affairs, but it may not be. In other words, it may be that there could never have been nothing, and therefore the question is meaningless. Yes, it would be easiest to say that the first question of metaphysics is meaningless, and there are many good reasons for this. Firstly, engaging in the examination of profoundly abstract notions like the absolute, nothing, everything, or something presents an arduous challenge in ascribing substantive meaning to them, as they lack intrinsic connections to empirical reality. Moreover, such intellectual inquiry inevitably propels us into an immeasurable realm of infinitude, with no way out. Furthermore, our contemplation would necessitate grappling with inherently paradoxical concepts, such as the coexistence of non-existence or attributes of nothingness. Secondly, the essential implication of this question is the existence of either something or nothing. However, it is imperative to acknowledge the viability of a third option. The yin-yang is an ancient Chinese symbol that represents the concept of dualism and the harmony of opposing forces. It is a balance and interconnectedness, integral duality, and interdependence of all things. Yin-yang illustrates the interplay of seemingly opposite, but actually complementary forces that work together to create a harmonious whole. Consequently, the notion arises that something may simultaneously exist and not exist, conceivably manifesting within imperfections of nothingness. Certainly, it is within reason to dismiss this big question. However, the lingering sense of vague unease remains inescapable. This stems from the potential risk of inadvertently neglecting a profoundly significant aspect, namely, the fundamental principle of existence itself. Ultimately, the question of why something exists instead of nothing may be one that cannot be fully answered or comprehended by human minds. Nonetheless, nothing can impede our relentless pursuit in this endeavor. It is intrinsic to the human mind to incessantly seek meaning even in circumstances where it may be absent. There are a few different approaches to this question, each with its own set of assumptions and implications. One approach is to ask whether there is any reason or purpose behind the existence. In the event that we respond negatively to the question and assert that nothing exists beyond existence itself, an intriguing consequence emerges wherein existence becomes the cause of itself. Such a scenario would give rise to a causal loop, or what is commonly known as the paradox of causality, because causality implies that something comes before and leads to something else. In other words, causality implies a cause precedes its effect. Therefore, it is logically impossible for something to be the cause of itself. It is a fundamental concept in philosophy, science, and everyday reasoning. However, there are certain situations and areas of study where the application of causality becomes more complex or less straightforward. In the realm of quantum mechanics, causality can be subtler. Quantum systems often exhibit probabilistic behavior, and the precise cause of a particular outcome may not be deterministically identifiable. Instead of strict cause and effect relationships, quantum mechanics introduces concepts like superposition and entanglement, where the relationships between events can be more nuanced. Also, in some complex systems, such as chaotic systems, small changes in initial conditions can lead to significantly different outcomes. While there is still a cause for each effect, predicting the exact outcome becomes extremely difficult due to the sensitivity to initial conditions. These systems can exhibit what is called sensitive dependence on initial conditions, popularly known as the butterfly effect. Within the domain of physical reality, we encounter a parallel semblance in cosmic objects, such as black holes. Inside the black hole's event horizon, the distortion of space-time is so extreme that it is difficult to apply our conventional notions of causality. Time itself becomes highly distorted, and the concept of cause and effect as we understand it may lose its meaning. Hence, we can draw the conclusion that the principle of causality does not necessarily contradict the principle of existence. Thereby, it is conceivable that existence itself is a self-sufficient entity. We can define it as unique property of being. It possesses a singular and exclusive attribute that enables the very possibility of existence. Being refers to the concept of existence. Being is like binary numeral system for computers, where binary code is used to represent information at the most fundamental level. It makes possible BIOS, then operation system, and all programming endeavors, creating infinite virtual reality. Perhaps the absence of a comprehensible cause for existence stems from the absence of temporal regulation on causality within that realm of mathematical reality. The essence of being lies in the very act of existence itself. Existence required explanation. Non-existence is not. Yet, amidst the vastness of existence, a perplexing inquiry arises. How can we fathom the profound enigma of the totality of things? Now let us revisit the question of whether there ought to be a reason or purpose behind existence. If we were to answer yes, we would encounter two predicaments. Firstly, if anything, including the reason itself, exists outside of existence, it inevitably becomes part of existence. From a technical standpoint, nothing can exist beyond existence. Hence, we would require a novel state that can simultaneously exist and not exist. An intriguing possibility lies in ideal forms existing in the absence of time. Secondly, the second predicament arises when we consider the notion that the cause of existence may not exist at all, yet still serve as a cause. This is not a mind-bending concept. According to Lao Tzu, the Tao is empty, it is deep, like the forefather of all things. The 4th century BC Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi wrote, "Everything that is born will die in time, but the process of birth itself is eternal. Colors are clearly visible, but what gives rise to color is not visible to us. That which forms into a form is essence, but that which forms a form never has a form." Similar to numbers, which exist in an abstract sense, regardless of physical manifestation, the cause of existence could potentially reside in the same manner. Uncaused cause or unmoved movers is a similar concept advanced by Aristotle as the primary cause of all the motion in the universe. Unmoved mover moves other things, but stay motionless. Thus, by following this line of reasoning, we might assert that things exist, yet the very source granting them existence does not exist. However, it raises a perplexing inquiry. How can a non-existing cause generate any outcomes? In essence, we encounter the good, timeless question of how something emerges from nothing. According to the accounts, the god brought forth the world into existence from a state of nothingness. Across numerous myths and narratives, the era preceding creation is often depicted as a realm characterized by emptiness, absence, darkness, and primordial chaos. This is a story about how everything was in a state of suspense. Everything was cold. Everything was silent. Everything is motionless, quiet, and the space of the sky was empty. There was no man, no animal, no birds, fish, crabs, trees, stones, caves, gorges, grasses. There were no forests. There was nothing connected yet. There was nothing that could move. There was nothing that existed that could have existence. In ancient myths, the process of cosmogenesis is often depicted as a series of stages. Initially, the elements within chaos are separated, creating a distinction. Then, outer space is established as the backdrop for subsequent actions. Cosmic supports form, providing the foundation for the universe. And finally, the entire space is filled with gods. Elements, time, celestial bodies, living beings, and objects that shape human existence. The act of world creation in various mythologies can be categorized into 7 major types. Eternal existence. The world has always existed and will continue to exist as it is. For example, in Jainism, spontaneous emergence. The world arises spontaneously from chaos or pristine waters. For example, in Hesiod writings and Egyptian texts of the pyramids, accidental creation. World comes into existence due to a random or erroneous act, for example, a bird dropping an egg, divine will. The world is created by the decision or will of its creator, who may be self-born, eternal, without a beginning, or awakened from deep sleep, for example, in Judaism. Christianity, cyclical nature. The world operates in cycles with periods of creation, destruction, and unmanifested states. In Hinduism, Maya, Aztec, and Buddhism, theft. The world is stolen from its original custodians, which can be interpreted metaphorically as an independent reality, where potential worlds are stored. Embryonic origin. The world emerges from an embryonic state, often symbolized by a world egg, for example in Orphism, or DNA of existence, or cosmic singularity in modern language. Each of these concepts offers distinct perspectives on the origin and nature of the world, providing rich mythological frameworks for understanding our existence. Of particular interest to us is the cyclical nature within the spatial context. Hinduism, for instance, describes the existence of multiple cosmos, each with its own creator called Brahma. Brahma's lifespan length 100 years, which is equivalent to 311,000 billion Earth years. At the end of Brahma's life, a state known as Mahapralaya occurs, involving the destruction of all worlds and their hierarchies. However, this dissolution does not result in absolute nothingness. Similar to an object falling into a black hole, which cannot be completely disintegrated due to the law of conservation of information, all worlds in Hinduism are absorbed into the body of Mahavishnu. They remain in an unmanifested or informational state within Mahavishnu for another 100 Brahma years. Following this period, a new cycle of creation begins. The cyclicity of the world is also evident in the mythologies of Maya, Aztecs, and Buddhism. Mahapralaya can be viewed as an apt analogy for the completion of the great circle of being, where nothing comes closest to its own nature and almost dissolves the non-infinite being within its infinite expanse. To illustrate this concept, envision a night sky during a grand celebration. Fireworks burst forth from various locations spanning the horizon, with each display representing a unique and beautiful cosmos. Each twinkling point within the vast expanse mirrors a multiverse, and the collective display of all fireworks on the infinite plane of nothing can be considered a manifestation of being. However, there are moments when the intensity of the fireworks naturally subsides, diminishes, or even temporarily ceases. During such moments, we witness the extraordinary emptiness of a completely dark sky, where our familiar concept of time ceases to exist. It is indeed intriguing that perfection, infinity, eternity, and absoluteness are qualities often ascribed to the concept of God. Surprisingly, these very attributes can also be associated with the concept of nothing. Could it be that nothing holds the potential to act as a creative source? Within the realm of philosophical and metaphysical speculation, the notion of nothing possesses a paradoxical nature. It represents the absence of all things, the void devoid of existence. However, it is precisely within this absence that the potential for creation and emergence can be contemplated. In some philosophical and cosmological frameworks, the concept of nothing is considered not as a mere absence, but as a fertile ground for possibility. It is seen as a state from which new realities can manifest and evolve. Just as a blank canvas holds the potential for an artist to create a masterpiece, the void of nothingness may serve as a canvas for the creation of the universe. From this perspective, nothing can be seen as a generative force, a wellspring of potentiality that allows for the emergence of existence itself. It becomes a source from which the intricate tapestry of the cosmos unfolds, providing the necessary conditions for the universe to come into being. Nevertheless, the question is what prevents nothing from being perfect and remaining in its absolute state? Perhaps the answer may lie in the ontological tense, on nothing coming from its unique condition of actual infinity which cannot coincide with itself. That statement requires clarification. The concept of nothing being possible exhibits an internal asymmetry or ontological tension, stemming from an inherent contradiction in the actualization process of infinity. The fundamental truth lies in the notion that infinity cannot manifest in the realm of reality. Rather, it exists as an abstract and ideal concept, akin to mathematics. Any endeavor to link it with reality proves unattainable, unless reality itself is void or empty. The question that remains is to comprehend how such an empty reality can exist and what defines it. Nothing must be infinite in its total emptiness, otherwise any limitation will turn it into something. But from another hand, nothing cannot be infinite because there is no infinite number of anything there. It is absolutely empty. Also, we cannot associate it with zero as well, because a zero is a part of existing mathematical structure, while nothing is more like an anti-existence or actual non-existence. Thus, we can consider nothing as being actual in its potentiality to some extent. It is infinitely actual, suggesting that nothing resembles chaos rather than mere emptiness. Absolute chaos and nothing have many similarities. Some philosophical traditions, such as certain interpretations of nihilism or existentialism, entertain the idea of nothingness as an absolute chaos. Chaos implies the absence of any structure, organization, or order. In nothingness, there is a complete lack of existence, form, or substance. It is the ultimate form of disorder, as there is nothing to impose any kind of structure upon. There are no governing laws, rules, or principles. Chaos is often associated with unpredictability, randomness, and boundless potential, as it allows for all possibilities to exist simultaneously. Nothingness, in a similar sense, can be seen as a state of infinite potentiality, where anything and everything could potentially emerge or cease to exist. Nothingness, being devoid of any inherent properties or attributes, would be entirely unpredictable, making it as fundamental source of absolute chaos. It is conceivable to hypothesize that absolute chaos might arise as a fluctuation within the state of nothingness. This concept involves imagining that out of the state of absolute nothingness, occasional fluctuations or perturbations occur, giving rise to periods of chaos. Here's a perspective on how this idea might be understood. Emergence of unpredictable patterns. Just as quantum fluctuations in the vacuum arise unpredictably and spontaneously, the fluctuations in nothingness might similarly give rise to unpredictable patterns within the chaos. These patterns would be transient and constantly changing, reflecting the imminent instability of chaos. Within the fluctuations of nothingness, there could be brief instances where patterns emerge, creating pockets of relative order within the otherwise formless chaos. The idea of fluctuations arising from nothingness suggests a cyclic or oscillating nature of existence. The fluctuations initiate periods of chaos, leading to transient patterns and then returning back to the state of nothingness, only to repeat the cycle indefinitely. The ancient Greeks referred to the empty reality as chaos, open pharynx, which appeared first and preceded everything. At the same time, chaos possessed an immanent potency and was generative, universal, and even balancing its opposite, the logos. True, the ancient authors did not specify where chaos got such wonderful abilities from. It can be assumed that their source is the initial ontological tension or asymmetry of nothing. Potentiality and reality are like a restaurant. Our dinner is on a menu and on the table. Also vice versa. An empty menu will guarantee an empty table. Only in this existential restaurant you pay not with money but with time. The more time you have, the more varied and exotic entities you can order, because the existence is flourishing in time. But if you don't have time at all, and you want to get something for nothing, then this option is also available in the universal menu. The table of reality is never completely empty, and somewhere on it you will definitely find an old, free pepper box, symbolizing the minimal something or fluctuation of nothing. Moreover, the menu of all potential items must be approved by the chef based on his existential kitchen's capabilities, and each dish on the menu must undergo through the existence certification process, gradually transitioning from an idea to the table of reality. It is important to highlight that the vast majority of dishes will not receive certificate of existence and will instead be placed into another, considerably more extensive menu of dishes that are incapable of existing. Some ancient Greek philosophers would refer to such a menu as non-being, where everything untrue, erroneous, and devoid of existence resided, although this did not hinder their belief in mythological heroes and creatures. Perhaps this is because the products of our consciousness automatically receive a certificate of existence. In existentialist philosophy, existence is often explored as being in the world. Existentialists emphasize the subjective experience of existence, the individual's existence in relation to others, and the unique possibilities and limitations that arise from being in the world. However, it is important to note that such philosophical speculations about the creative potential of nothing remain abstract and highly speculative. Whether nothing truly possesses the capacity to be a creative source is a question that lies beyond our current knowledge and may continue to be a subject of philosophical and theological debate. Some physicists suggest that the universe may have arisen spontaneously from a quantum vacuum, but according to quantum mechanics, the vacuum state is not truly empty. It has non-zero energy, quantized field, and full of virtual particles, far from a state of absolute nothingness. Nevertheless, in physics, the concept of nothing can be described as the most preferable state characterized by the lowest possible energy, which essentially means zero energy, when referring to absolute nothingness. As time progresses, entropy only increases, implying that everything will eventually disintegrate, including matter, space, and time, without any prospect of resurrection. On the other hand, we are the living proof that absolute nothingness is not possible, at least not eternally. Thus, there remains a glimmer of hope that quantum fluctuations could lead to the birth of new universes, even in the midst of a stage of total disintegration, because mathematics behind space and time is indestructible. The idea that the foundation of our reality can be purely mathematical has been gaining significant traction within modern physics. As scientists delve deeper into the fundamental nature of the universe, they have observed remarkable mathematical patterns and symmetries that govern the behavior of matter energy and the forces that govern their interaction. These mathematical principles have proven to be incredibly successful in describing and predicting physical phenomena, from the motion of celestial bodies to the behavior of subatomic particles. One of the most remarkable success stories of this approach is the theory of general relativity, formulated by Albert Einstein. This theory describes gravity as the curvature of space-time, and its mathematical equations have accurately predicted the bending of light around massive objects and the expansion of the universe. Additionally, in quantum mechanics, mathematical concepts such as complex numbers, matrices, and wave functions play a central role in understanding the probabilistic nature of particles and their interaction. As physicists continue to explore the frontiers of their field, they encounter ever more intricate mathematical structures that appear to underpin the fabric of reality. Some even speculate that a unified theory of physics, often referred to as the theory of everything, might be entirely based on elegant mathematical principles, encapsulating all the fundamental forces of nature into a single coherent framework. However, it is essential to note that while mathematics provides a powerful and remarkably accurate tool for describing and understanding the natural world, the philosophical question of whether mathematics itself is an inherent part of reality or merely a human invention remains a subject of debate. Some scientists argue that mathematics is a product of human abstraction, a language we use to describe the patterns we observe in the universe. Others posit that mathematics exists independently and is discovered rather than invented, suggesting a profound connection between mathematics and the fabric of reality. Throughout history, various civilizations and belief systems have perceived language as having a profound connection with the creation and organization of the cosmos. In ancient Greek thought, the concept of logos represented the rational order that governs the universe, implying that there is an inherent structure to reality that can be described and understood through language. Similarly, in religious traditions, the notion that God created the world through spoken words or divine language suggests that language is not just a tool for description, but an active creative force. Moreover, the discovery of DNA as a code or language that carries the instructions for life's development underscores the idea that language, even in its most fundamental biological form, is intimately intertwined with the processes of creation and organization in the natural world. If we examine the success of mathematics in explaining and predicting natural phenomena, it becomes apparent that its effectiveness goes beyond being a mere description of patterns. The fact that mathematical laws and principles can accurately represent the behavior of physical systems, from the motion of celestial bodies to the behavior of subatomic particles, suggests that there is a deeper connection between mathematics and reality. Furthermore, when we consider the remarkable correspondence between mathematical concepts and physical phenomena, such as the application of calculus to describe change in motion, or the use of geometry to understand the properties of space, it becomes evident that mathematics is not just an abstract language created by humans, but an inherent aspect of the structure of the universe. The idea that the universe operates on a foundational universal language or code is compelling and resonates with the notion that mathematics is not merely an invention of the human mind, but rather a discovery of the underlying principles that govern reality. This perspective suggests that mathematical truths are fundamental and exist independently of human consciousness, and our exploration of mathematics is an uncovering of these pre-existing realities. There is a strong case to be made for the idea that mathematics serves as a profound source of reality itself. The historical and conceptual connections between language, mathematics, and the fundamental processes of creation and organization in the universe imply that mathematics goes beyond a descriptive tool and instead represents an intrinsic aspect of the cosmos. The mathematics that we know and have developed so far might just scratch the surface of a much vaster and profound mathematical reality. There are several reasons to believe that this is only a fraction of what could constitute the grand mathematics, a universal language that encompasses the deepest aspects of reality. Mathematics is a vast and continuously evolving field, and new areas of study, such as higher dimensional geometry, topology, and abstract algebra, are still being explored. These branches of mathematics might hold hidden insights into aspects of the universe that have yet to be revealed. The human mind has its limitations in grasping complex mathematical concepts. Some ideas may be so abstract and sophisticated that we have not yet developed the cognitive tools to fully comprehend them. The observable universe is vast, but it might only be a minuscule part of the entire cosmos. The grand mathematics could extend beyond the boundaries of what we can observe, describing realms and phenomena that lie beyond our current reach. Many physicists believe that a deeper level of mathematics, yet to be discovered, may underpin the fundamental forces and principles of the universe. So, while the mathematics we've developed so far has been remarkably successful in understanding the natural world, it is essential to remain open to the idea that it represents only a small part of a vast and profound grand mathematics. The journey of exploration in math is ongoing, and as we delve deeper, we may uncover hidden truths and universal principles that will transform our understanding of reality. The potential for a more comprehensive and all-encompassing mathematical language awaits, leading us to new frontiers of knowledge and understanding. However, numbers themselves and mathematical objects do not exist within our tangible reality. This raises an intriguing question. Should we then deduce that our world is founded on concepts that, in essence, do not exist? If the reality is fundamentally mathematical, or that the universe might be akin to a grand computer simulation, the laws of physics and the fabric of the cosmos exhibit properties reminiscent of a simulated world. The holographic principle further intrigues, suggesting that information within a space can be encoded on its boundary, much like data processing in a computer. At the quantum level, particles in states of superposition and entanglement, hinting at a potential computational essence to our reality. Perhaps within the depths of a mathematician's mind, intricate mathematical objects come to life, existing independently in their own realm of mathematical time. Could it be that we, as unimaginably complex and conscious mathematical entities, traverse through physical space and time on a great and challenging path? Possibly that our purpose is to gather new experiences, which in turn may shape and build new worlds and support the eternal dance of being with nothing. Like life and death, a dance familiar to all, entwined in the fabric of existence. In conclusion, as with discussions about being and nothing, this concept resides in the realm of abstraction and metaphysical speculation. It pushes the boundaries of human understanding and challenges our capacity to grasp the nature of existence itself.